Have you ever walked into your garden and found cucumber leaves turning pale, even though the plants looked healthy only a few days earlier? At first, you may notice one small white patch near the bottom of the vine. Then another spot appears. Soon the older leaves begin to fade. The vines slow down. The flowers still open, but some young cucumbers stay small, bend, or stop growing. Many home gardeners see this and reach for the first spray they can find. That is often when a small problem becomes much worse. There is one common ingredient sitting in many kitchens that may help protect cucumber leaves when it is used at the right time and in the right amount. It is inexpensive. It is easy to find. It is also one of the most misused garden tricks I have seen. A careful mix may help slow an early leaf problem. A strong mix may burn tender leaves by the next morning. Before using anything, look closely at the plant. Check whether the white spots feel dry and powdery. See whether they began on the older leaves. Notice whether the problem appeared after several warm and humid days. These small details can save an entire cucumber vine. Tell me in the comments what problem is giving your cucumber plants the most trouble right now. Please subscribe and support the channel for more practical garden advice. That kitchen ingredient is closer than you think, but before it touches a leaf, you need to know exactly what it is. The kitchen ingredient I mentioned is baking soda. Most people know it as the white powder used in cooking and cleaning. Its common chemical name is sodium bicarbonate. In the garden, it may change the condition on the surface of a cucumber leaf for a short time. That may be useful when powdery mildew is caught early. But here is where many gardeners get confused. Baking soda is not fertilizer. It does not feed the roots. It does not supply the main nutrients cucumber plants need for steady growth and fruit production. It cannot repair damaged roots. It cannot correct poor watering. It cannot fix weak pollination. It also cannot make an old damaged leaf turn green again. Another common mistake is using baking powder instead. The name sounds similar, but the products are different. Baking powder usually contains added acids and starch. That makes it a poor choice for this garden use. Check the label before mixing anything. You want plain baking soda, with sodium bicarbonate listed as the only ingredient. Even then, more is not better. A mild mixture may help in the right situation. A strong mixture may burn tender cucumber leaves. The real danger begins when a gardener treats the wrong problem with the right product. Before you spray anything, make sure you know what the plant is actually showing you. Many gardeners see one pale leaf or one white spot and immediately assume it is powdery mildew. That can lead to the wrong treatment. Powdery mildew usually looks like dry white dust sitting on the surface of the leaf. It often begins on older leaves near the bottom of the vine. The spots may start small, then slowly join together. Downy mildew looks different. It often creates yellow patches with sharp edges between the leaf veins. The underside may appear gray, brown, or slightly fuzzy. Water stress can also fool you. A thirsty cucumber may droop during the hottest part of the day, then stand back up after sunset. A plant with wet roots may stay wilted even when the soil feels damp. Old leaves often turn yellow slowly, without any white coating. A nutrient problem may cause several lower leaves to fade at the same time. Do not judge the whole vine from one leaf. Check at least 5 to 10 leaves. Look near the base, the middle, and the newest growth. Turn the leaves over. Check the soil about 2 inches deep. Then watch the plant for 2 or 3 days. See whether the spots are spreading. See whether the new leaves remain clean. See whether the plant recovers after watering. Treat the cause, not just the color. Once those signs point to early powdery mildew, the question changes from what is wrong to what baking soda can realistically do. Here is where many garden videos go too far. Baking soda may help with early powdery mildew, but it cannot bring a badly damaged cucumber plant back to life. When you find only a few small white patches on older leaves, a mild spray may make the leaf surface less favorable for the fungus. That may help slow new growth of the disease while the vine continues producing healthy leaves. But the old white patches will not simply disappear. A leaf that is already half covered will not become fresh and green again. The real goal is to protect the cleaner growth above it. Look at the entire plant before deciding what to do. If only 2 or 3 older leaves are affected, remove the worst ones and leave the healthy leaves in place. Do not strip the whole vine. A small cucumber plant still needs every healthy leaf it can keep. If about 1/3 of the canopy is already badly affected, a homemade spray should not be your only plan. Improve airflow. Keep water off the leaves when possible. Water the root zone evenly Remove infected leaves a little at a time. Then watch the newest growth for 3 to 5 days. If the new leaves stay clean, the problem may be slowing down. If fresh white patches keep moving upward, the plant needs a different approach. Baking soda cannot repair wet roots, heat damage, poor pollination, or a nutrient problem. It only has a limited role on the leaf surface. That is why the measuring spoon matters more than the promise on any thumbnail. Now we can talk about the mixture, because a small measuring mistake can damage an entire cucumber vine. For a small test batch, start with 1 quart of clean water. That is just under 1 liter. Add 3/4 of a teaspoon of plain baking soda. For a larger batch, use 1 gallon of water and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Use lukewarm water, not hot water. Add the baking soda slowly. Stir until the water looks clear and no powder remains at the bottom. Do not guess the amount. Do not use a heaping spoon. A stronger mixture does not work faster. It only leaves more sodium on a tender leaf. Before treating the whole plant, choose 1 or 2 older leaves. Spray a light mist on both sides. Do not soak them. Then wait for 24 to 48 hours. Look for brown edges, gray patches, curling, or a dry and brittle surface. If the leaves remain normal, you can spray a larger section of the plant. If damage appears, stop using the mixture. Rinse the tested leaves with clean water and prepare a weaker batch. Mix only what you plan to use that day. Do not save an old batch for the following week. A few careful minutes at the mixing table can protect weeks of growth in the garden. The mixture may be ready, but what many gardeners add next can decide whether the leaf is protected or burned. Here is something many home gardeners overlook. Baking soda and water may form large drops on cucumber leaves instead of spreading into a thin layer. A tiny amount of mild liquid soap can help the mixture cover the surface more evenly. For 1 quart of water, start with only 2 or 3 drops. For 1 gallon, use no more than 1/4 teaspoon in the first test batch. Choose a plain and gentle product. Avoid soap made for heavy grease. Avoid antibacterial soap. Avoid scented cleaners. Never use anything that contains bleach. Stir slowly so the mixture does not fill with foam. Oil is a different matter. It may help the spray remain on the leaf longer, but it can also trap heat and increase the risk of leaf burn. I would leave oil out of the first batch. If you decide to test it later, use no more than 1 teaspoon in 1 gallon of water. Test only 1 or 2 older leaves. Do not use oil when the temperature may rise above 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not spray a wilted plant. Do not apply it before strong sunlight. The leaves should receive a thin mist, not a heavy coating. Folks, adding more ingredients does not make a homemade spray more powerful. It only creates more ways to damage the plant. A safe mixture still depends on one final detail: how it reaches the leaf. Even a carefully mixed spray can fail when it is applied the wrong way. Start by checking the weather. Choose a calm morning after the dew has dried. The leaves should have at least 3 to 4 hours to dry before rain or strong afternoon heat arrives. Do not spray during the hottest part of the day. Do not spray late in the evening when the leaves may stay wet all night. Before spraying, remove only the leaves that are heavily covered with powdery mildew. Do not strip the entire vine. Healthy leaves are still feeding the plant. Place the infected leaves in a bag and carry them away from the garden. Do not leave them under the plant. Hold the nozzle about 1 foot from the leaves. Spray the top surface first, then lift each leaf and mist the underside. Many gardeners miss this area, even though moisture and disease often remain there longer. Use a fine and even mist. The leaf should look lightly coated. The liquid should not run from the edges. If the plant is dripping, you are using too much. Avoid soaking flowers and very young growth. Do not spray a plant that is wilted from dry soil or heat. Water the root zone first and wait until the vine recovers. Also, avoid windy conditions. The spray may drift onto nearby plants that have not been tested. One careful application is better than several rushed treatments. Once the leaves dry, the plant begins giving you the answer, and most gardeners look in the wrong place. The most important work begins after the spray has dried. Do not reach for the bottle again just because several days have passed. Start by checking the newest leaves every 2 or 3 days. Those leaves will tell you more than the older damaged ones. Take a photo before the first treatment, then photograph the same area again after 3 to 5 days. If no fresh white patches appear and the new growth stays clean, the treatment may be helping. If the old spots remain but stop spreading, that can still be a good sign. Do not expect damaged leaves to turn green again. Watch for brown edges, dry patches, curling, or a dull gray surface. These signs may appear within 24 to 48 hours if the mixture was too strong. Stop spraying if you see them. Rinse the leaves with clean water and let the plant recover. Also, check the weather before deciding whether another treatment is needed. Several warm and humid days can increase disease pressure. Cool and dry weather may slow it naturally. The calendar does not know what your cucumber plant needs. The leaves do. Never spray every day. Never repeat the treatment without checking the newest growth first. If the disease keeps moving upward after 5 days, the problem may be too advanced for a homemade spray alone. The leaves may guide your spray decision, but the roots demand a completely different kind of caution. What may be tolerated on a leaf can cause a very different problem around the roots. Baking soda contains sodium. One small amount may not seem serious, but repeated applications can allow sodium to build up in the root zone. Cucumber roots are tender. They need loose soil, steady moisture, and enough air between the soil particles. Too much sodium can make it harder for the roots to take up water. The plant may begin to wilt even when the soil feels damp. Growth may slow. Leaf edges may turn brown. New fruit may remain small. Many gardeners see these signs and add even more products, which makes the problem worse. Do not pour leftover spray around the base of the plant. Do not use baking soda every month to adjust the soil. Most cucumbers grow well when a soil test reading is between 6 and 7, but you cannot know that number by looking at the leaves. Use a simple soil test before changing anything. Test several spots around the bed, not just one corner. If the soil reading is outside the useful range, choose a soil amendment made for that specific problem. Do not try to correct it by guessing. Here is the simple rule. Use baking soda only as a carefully tested leaf spray. Keep it away from the roots unless a qualified local expert gives a clear reason to use it there. When the roots are protected, several other causes of weak growth become much easier to spot. Not every weak cucumber plant has a disease. Sometimes the real problem begins with water, flowers, roots, or fruit that stayed on the vine too long. The first problem is uneven watering. Cucumbers usually need about 1 to 2 inches of water each week, depending on the weather, soil, plant size, and growth stage. Check the soil about 2 inches deep before watering again. If the soil becomes very dry and then suddenly gets soaked, the fruit may grow unevenly. It may curve, narrow at one end, or develop a bitter taste. The second problem is poor pollination. Many cucumber varieties produce separate male and female flowers. Pollen must reach the female flower for the young fruit to develop normally. When pollination is incomplete, a small cucumber may turn yellow, become misshapen, or fall from the vine. The third problem is soil that stays wet for too long. Roots need moisture, but they also need air. Constantly wet soil can weaken the roots and encourage rot. The plant may wilt even though the ground still feels damp. The fourth problem is leaving mature cucumbers on the vine. During heavy production, check the plants every day or two. Remove fruit before it becomes oversized and yellow. Old fruit continues using the plant energy and may slow the development of younger cucumbers. Baking soda cannot correct any of these problems. Take care of the water, flowers, roots, and harvest first. Once those basic problems are ruled out, the biggest remaining risk may be the way the spray itself is being used. The worst damage often happens when gardeners try to make a simple spray work faster. The first mistake is using too much baking soda. A stronger mixture does not stop the disease sooner. It only leaves more sodium on the leaf. Brown edges, dry spots, and curling may appear within 1 or 2 days. The second mistake is spraying the whole garden without testing first. Always choose 1 or 2 older leaves. Apply a light mist. Then wait at least 24 hours before treating the rest of the plant. The third mistake is spraying a wilted cucumber vine. A plant already stressed by heat or dry soil is much easier to burn. Water the root zone first. Let the plant recover before spraying anything on the leaves. The fourth mistake is adding too much soap or oil. These ingredients may help the mixture spread, but a heavy coating can damage the natural surface of the leaf. It can also trap heat during warm weather. The fifth mistake is ignoring the real cause. Poor airflow, wet soil, damaged roots, old infected leaves, and weak watering habits will keep causing trouble. No kitchen mixture can replace good garden care. Stop spraying if the leaf edges turn brown. Stop if the newest leaves begin to curl. Stop if dry patches appear after treatment. One careful test can save an entire cucumber row. Avoiding these mistakes gives you the best chance to see the only result that truly matters: healthy, new growth. By now, you know that baking soda is not a miracle cure. It is only one small tool that may help when powdery mildew is found early. Do not judge the result by the old damaged leaves. Watch the newest growth instead. If fresh leaves stay clean, the vine keeps extending, flowers continue opening, and young cucumbers grow normally, your overall plan may be working. If new white patches continue moving upward, the plant stops growing, or the leaves begin curling after treatment, stop spraying and look for another cause. Check the soil, check the roots, check the watering pattern. Remove badly infected leaves a few at a time. Keep the vines open so air can move through them. Water the root zone deeply and evenly. Harvest mature cucumbers before they become oversized and yellow. These simple habits usually protect the plant better than any homemade mixture. If the disease continues spreading across much of the vine, contact your local extension office or use a product clearly labeled for edible cucumber plants. Good gardening is not about finding the strongest spray. It is about noticing small changes before they become large problems. Tell me in the comments what happened when you tried this method, what the weather was like, and how the newest leaves responded. Your experience may help another gardener protect a cucumber crop this season. Please subscribe and support the channel for more practical garden advice. Thank you for watching, take care of your garden, and I will see you in the next video.